Don't move to Colorado. Just kidding. I love Colorado. It is my home state. I've been here my entire life, but obviously Colorado can't be all that great. So if you're interested in the reasons on why maybe you shouldn't move to Colorado, this is the video for you. Let's get started. Hi there, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but I am a native as well. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are catered to my most favorite places to live, to visit, to work, to play, whatever that might be. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Now, as much as I love making these videos for you, I love helping you more. So if you are moving to Colorado or within Colorado, there's my contact information right there. Please reach out to me. I love hearing from you. All right, so Colorado can't be all that great all the time, right? I mean, there's plenty of people out there who just really don't like it here and who are moving away. You know, natives who've been here their entire life, they want to get the hell out. My sister, she lives in Chicago and she doesn't ever want to move back. So why are these reasons? What are the reasons on why people do not like Colorado? And so right now I have the top 8 reasons on why you shouldn't move here. So the very first one, most people are gonna say, is going to be the weather. Now, the weather, in my opinion, is the best reason to live in Colorado, but a lot of people do hate it. So our weather is ever changing all the time. So I mean, honestly, in the winter time is when most people get all huffy and puffy and want to move out of here. And I really, truly don't understand why, because our winters are actually not that bad. They truly are not. But in the wintertime, we could be, no joke, 65 degrees in December, and then the very next day have a blizzard. It's just kind of how it works out here. It is July 20th right now, and it is 102 outside. So it is pretty hot right now, but you know, we do have rain, so there rains every once in a while, obviously to cool us down. We are in the desert, so it is pretty hot. When it is hot, it's hot. It is dry. We are closer to the sun, so you feel that sun quite a bit more. But overall, the weather in general, in my opinion, is not bad. I really don't see the big complaint about it. We have all 4 seasons. My personal favorite is the fall. You get to, smell the crisp air, it's just cooler outside. The leaves are changing. It's really, really pretty. Our summers, in my opinion, are great. We're usually right around in the 90s, except for this week, clearly. And then in the winter time, we have our snow, but the great thing about Colorado is that it melts. We have 300 days of sunshine. That is not just a marketing thing. It is true. We have more sunshine than California. So we have, it'll snow, but then it melts. It goes away. It's not like this dreary nastiness that lasts all season long. No, it's gone and we move on with life and just dress in layers. That's what I say. Just dress in layers and you'll be just fine. All right, the second reason on why people are moving out of Colorado or maybe should just stay away from Colorado is because it is so expensive, or at least it's getting expensive, comparably speaking on where we used to be, of course. So Denver on average, if we're talking about housing prices, because that's where my cup of tea is, housing prices in Denver right now are on average right around $750,000 to $800,000 on average. Boulder is going to be quite a bit higher. Right now on average, you're about 1.2 million. So we are quite a bit more to live here. Rent is high too. 1-bedroom apartments are hovering right around $1,700. 2 bedrooms are obviously going to be higher than that. But I will say, even though it is expensive, it is relative, right? So I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know if you're coming from California or New York, Chicago maybe, and these prices are going to be pretty on par from what you're used to, or maybe even a little bit less. Now I have a lot of clients coming from Texas or South Dakota, Arizona, some of these places where, your cost of living, you're used to cheaper houses or less expensive houses, and you come out here and there is that sticker shock on what you can afford out here. And that's where I come in and I try to help you, guide you to show you what you can and get in certain areas. Now, obviously, Denver, Denver proper and Boulder are going to be super expensive, but you need to talk to an agent, talk to me, contact me, and we'll tell you where it's less expensive. There's plenty of other places in Colorado that you could still get the type of lifestyle you may be looking for, but maybe not pay as much. Northern Colorado is booming. You could go down to Colorado Springs, Southern Colorado. That is great too, and you could get a lot more house for your money, both in Northern and Southern Colorado. So give me a call and I'll help you out with that as well. All right, so the third reason I hear, and I think it's kind of bogus, but I think it's worth mentioning, I suppose, is apparently we're bad drivers out here. And I have to beg to differ. I actually think that we are good drivers, but it's everybody who's moving here who are bad drivers. So that is my logic on that. So anybody who's normally from Colorado, who's grown up in Colorado their whole life, we know how to drive in the snow and the ice. We're familiar with, going down the mountains and things like that. It's the people who are moving to Colorado that, in my opinion, make everything a little bit crazy. You guys see a little bit of ice or snow and there's a little bit of freak out. So do know that when you come out here, that people seem to think that we're bad drivers. Apparently we're ranked the 6th worst in the United States, which again, I feel like that's not true, but I guess worth mentioning. There is a lot of traffic out here too. So maybe that's it. Maybe there's a lot of road rage. I don't know, but I think that's something that you need to be aware of. There is a lot of traffic, but if you're going to move out here, learn how to drive in the snow. Learn how to drive in the ice. Get a 4-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive to help you out with that, because your 2-wheel drive or your rear wheel is just not going to cut it when you come out here. It's just not. And then that's when things get unsafe. So definitely look into those type of things before you move out here, or right when you get here before winter hits. That way you are safe and you're protecting everybody else on the road. Number 4 reason why Colorado might suck is because it actually is so popular. And what I mean by that is there's so many people moving here, and so many people want to take advantage of our parks, our trails, our ski resorts, all of that stuff. And now it is overcrowded. In fact, a lot of those trails now, you have to have advanced reservations just to go. The ski resorts are super, super, 1, expensive, and 2, very, very crowded. Just getting up there on I-70 and coming back, the traffic getting up on I-70 is a nightmare, regardless of what time of year, mainly because year round there's always something to do. So if you want to go up skiing or camping, coming down I-70 on the way home on a Sunday is going to be super, super crazy. Just because there's so many people. People love coming here, and that's great. I love you coming here. I fully promote it, but it does overcrowd our parks, our trails, our camping. It's really hard to actually get a camping spot anymore. I personally camp with my family, and we have to literally book this out months in advance, or you can't find anything. Just people were, wanting to experience Colorado, and I think that's wonderful. Just do know it is very crowded, especially with our outdoor activities. You can't just go up there and have a great time. I mean, you can, but there's a lot of places that do require advanced reservations. All right, so number 5, and something you definitely need to think about if you're moving here, is the job market is pretty tight. So we have about 80,000 people moving to the state every single year. What does that mean? That means everybody is going for these jobs as well. So we do have a very low unemployment rate, which is amazing, but you have a lot of very successful or, talented people who are moving to this area, and they're all fighting for all these jobs. So just kind of keep that in mind before you move here. Either have a job in place, or definitely be looking for a job prior to getting out here. Do I think you'll get one? Absolutely, because I mean, there's plenty of jobs out there, but it might be tight. It might be tight, and that's kind of it. We have just so many people moving here. They all want to be here, and so that's just going to be obviously less jobs for the amount of people who are moving here. So do keep that in mind. The 6th thing I feel like it's worth mentioning on why Colorado kind of sucks is that we don't have the best of food options. We're not like a foodie state. It's not like, Texas's, Tex-Mex or, barbecue places, in the South or Texas or whatever. We're not known for anything like that. We don't have the pizza like Chicago and New York. We don't have anything like that. Now, we do have a lot of great restaurants. Now, don't get me wrong about that, but we don't really have our thing. We don't really have anything that Colorado is known for. So I wouldn't say if you're going to be moving out here and you're like a foodie and you're really into like this amazing food and you can't wait to get out here to try it, we don't have it. We just don't have it. We have a lot of chains. We have a lot of fast food. We have, all of that stuff. And then in Denver and Boulder, all of these places has amazing, quirky restaurants, fine dining restaurants, steak restaurants. We have all of that kind of stuff, but we're just not known for anything. One thing I will say though, we are known for is kind of the opposite. We're known for our beer. So if you don't really care about the food, but you want great beer, Colorado 100% is where you need to be. In fact, Fort Collins is one of the, the nation's capital of microbrews. Definitely head up to Fort Collins if you ever get a chance to come out here. But there is literally breweries almost on every corner. It's kind of like a Starbucks. You see them all over the place. They're popping up everywhere and they are worth trying. They're amazing. So if food's not your thing and beer is, absolutely come here. But, just kind of know if you're moving here or visiting here, we just don't have that great of food. I mean, we just don't. Now, if you already live here, you're probably already going to notice this, but the seventh reason on maybe why Colorado just isn't that great is it's very touristy. I mean, people want to visit here. It's like Texas's playground. They always come out here. You guys are skiing and biking and doing all this fun stuff. So there is tourists all the time, and it really is year round. You go up to those ski resorts, you're going to see people from all over the world. All winter long. So just, it's crowded in that sense. I've already talked about that just in general with our parks and our trails. You go up to Estes Park or Steamboat, anything like that in the summertime. It is crowded. It is very, very crowded. And most likely it's for people who do not already live here. They're visiting just because I am so fortunate to live in this beautiful state that I am very proud of it. I want people to visit it. But yes, it does kind of suck because, you're trying to get around some places and, the traffic is crazy. And like I said, most times before, people are driving through the mountains, and most people who don't live in Colorado don't really know how to drive in the mountains that well. So they are a little bit nervous. And it's just, it's just kind of one of those things that Colorado is just a great place to visit. So therefore, we have a lot of people who come here all the time. And the eighth reason on why maybe Colorado is just not for you is that it is so dry. If you are moving from a place that you are used to humidity, like Florida or Texas or South Carolina, where you have a lot of humidity, you are going to be like in shock when you get out here. I mean, it is so dry. I'm used to it, obviously, but you have to put on lotion all the time. You have to use your chapstick all the time. We are very prone to fires out here just because it is so dry. And then, when those winds hit, it just creates complete destruction for sure. So do keep that in mind. If you're used to a lot of humidity, we just don't have it out here. Also, when you get out here, we're so high up, we're a mile high. For Denver's a mile high, but then we're even higher in elevation in the mountains. And so sickness, headaches, all of that kind of stuff comes along with it. It does take some time to get used to. You need to drink a lot of water. You need to stay hydrated a lot, especially when it's so hot. And we are so close to the sun that you need to have sunscreen on, because even if it is 30 degrees outside and you are skiing, that sun is beating down on you, and the goggles, sunscreen, your face will just be burnt and you'll look ridiculous. So those are my top 8 reasons why Colorado may not be for you, but it is 100% my most favorite place to live. I have never lived anywhere else, so I highly recommend it regardless. Please reach out to me if you have any questions about Colorado, moving here, whatever. My contact information is right there. And remember to click that subscribe button. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. To the next video, take care.